What is up, beautiful people? We are back once again. We reacted yesterday, right, to J-Hope Killing It Girl after you guys had requested it multiple times, and he, in fact, is indeed killing it girl. Okay, so now we got another recommendation. Apparently there is a BTS Army documentary by the name of You Never Walk Alone, and there's multiple parts. Now, I looked at some of it to see how long it was. It's pretty long, so I might not get it all. But we're gonna watch some important clips, and then we might even watch part 2 later down the line. But apparently it's super impactful. Content warning, the following contains mentions of sensitive topics. So it looks like it's gonna be pretty deep. Strap in, y'all. Strap in.
I was being bullied a lot in school because of my weight. So BTS helped me kind of get through all the hard times and stuff. 2016 especially, because I self-harmed a lot. And We Are Bulletproof, the eternal Hobie's line always gets, I'm gonna cry. Thank you, sorry.
Lock in. Our first, don't want to die, so much pain, too much crying, so worn out is the blade.
I kind of threw away everything. I was like, I'm done, I can't do this. Like, if I lose my life now, I lose them. I couldn't do it. Okay. That song just means so much.
Never walk alone. Damn.
I started listening to K-pop in like 2010, 2011, so it was like Super Junior, 21, that kind of era. And then I found BTS when they first debuted in 2013, and they looked so different. I was like, who is this?
I watched the Danger dance practice and I was immediately hooked because they were just amazing dancers. Like, I had never seen anything like that before.
I had a friend, she was my roommate in college. We were driving around and she had been obsessed. I think that night before, actually, she had fallen into a rabbit hole and like started learning all of their names, and it was over from there. And the next day she played Blood, Sweat and Tears in the car, and I was like, okay, you know, this is a nice song. And the next song that comes up was Fire. And all I hear is Suga's voice when he says, 불타오르네. And I was like, wait, rewind that.
불타오르네.
Actually, it was Ashley, my wife, who put, she just put, I believe it was DNA music video, and she put that up on like the screens like right before class, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Once we started dating is where I started learning more about BTS, and so started like just thinking and like listening to all their stuff over time. Eventually, my bias became Jungkook, and then pretty much it kind of just went downhill. Not downhill, but it kind of just went upwards from there.
My daughter had been a fan of BTS since...
We're seeing all kinds of ages, right? It started off, how old was she? She was like 22. Then it went to like 31, 27. Now we're at Jennifer at 49. And you already know this, ARMY is ageless. And I had to learn that last year, like, wait, what? This whole silver ARMY thing and everything like that. And I love the testimonies because like he was just saying, my wife introduced me to it. You know, other people talking about, my roommate introduced me to it. And the funny thing is, I heard those same testimonies at BTS ReactorCon. I heard people giving those same testimonies that they used to roll their eyes and like, oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, they're hooked. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
2015. She, being my daughter, got on my social media and followed all the BTS accounts. So I happened to be on my phone when the Dynamite comeback happened, and so I was like, okay, I'll watch this. And I loved it.
They did the Grand Central Station On performance, and they were outstanding. And then the pandemic started 3 weeks later or something. So I thought, I want to see that video again, and I looked it up and then clicked on something else and clicked on something else, and then I watched their run episodes, which are pretty funny, and it just brought me a lot of happiness, you know?
BTS has helped me through all the hardships that I've faced since becoming an ARMY.
My home life is not great. It is not good. It's kind of like a back and forth, kind of toxic relationship.
Back in like April, mostly like very late March, and even it got the worst on my birthday in May 4th, in which I literally lost my physical ability to actually talk. Even like I couldn't form sentences anymore. I could only speak with like maybe 1 or 2, 3 words without having a complete mental breakdown. I was ready to be hospitalized and have someone watch me. That's how bad it got.
I was in college and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I had, I had a lot of health issues. I was having a lot of doctor's visits and no one could really tell me what was going on. Basically what happens is the spine produces fluid, like everyone's body produces fluid for the brain to, work and function. Mine either overproduces or just doesn't drain properly. It causes a lot of vertigo. It causes a lot of like nausea and fatigue, and even looking at you now, like I'm seeing double.
I lost I called him my papa, my grandfather. It was April of...
Yo, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know what... Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. This is deep. It's very necessary, though, because these people are getting so transparent, and I think that's the way we need to be. That's the way I try to be on this channel. I think that's the way you should be in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way people heal. I'm very anxious to see what they say, because they're all giving these crazy ass testimonies, health wise, depression wise, and obviously what they're going to end up saying is, how does BTS connect in their life? And I'm so intrigued right now to see what happened. Like, really, did BTS help them get out of that? Help them get a second breath of life? Like, I'm really interested to see what's up.
Last year. Then my grandmother passed away from COVID in August. That was hard. They were married for like 62 years, so
wow,
it's really hard. Actually, might need a tissue for this. I'm sorry.
62 years. 62 years they were married.
Sorry. I didn't even expect this was gonna happen. Hey, Lord. The song that actually I related most to them was actually Film Out.
Film Out.
From all the memories stored in my heart, I gather up the ones of you, link them together, gazing at them projected across the room. I feel you with every burst of pain. It just it reminded me of their relationship so much, and then also of like me and the family not being able to see him ever again. I actually showed that to my mom and my 2 aunts. They're all sisters. And they all cried because it was like, they understood. They know how much BTS means to me, and they watched it and read the lyrics and everything, and they were like, yeah, that is very meaningful.
You know what I'm seeing here is a lot of people, a lot of pain, a lot of loss, a lot of healing, right? And it looks like they're finding BTS's music at a point where they're needing to cling to something, they're needing anything to pull them up, right? And they somehow connect with either BTS themselves or a song that they randomly hear, and they're like, holy crap, this song right here. And then they learn the rest, right? But it's like, I think the reason why it goes so much deeper than just that is because when you look at the root, how BTS operates, they write their own music. From what I know, please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But from what I've seen, the documentaries and all that, RM, all these guys, they're choreographing. Now, obviously, they have some help with choreography sometimes, but from my understanding, they do the majority of it, right? They're singing, they're dancing. These guys do it all. So everything that we're hearing, everything that the people giving their testimonies are hearing is from them. Like, it's not just, oh, we have a hit, like some producer somewhere that doesn't have really any ties to the song. You know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, it's going to be a smash. No, this was written from somebody's soul. And I think that's why their music connects so strong with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because you can feel it. You can literally feel a song and its intention when it's composed the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally, I don't know how to explain it more than that. Anyway, let's continue on.
It was like, pretty much encapsulates the grieving process, I guess. And that kind of actually helped me a lot. I don't think I would have been able to get through all of that as well as I had without them, at least. So,
Life in the pandemic for everybody, I'm sure, has been so inconsistent, and nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week.
I was just having such a hard time handling my 2 youngest sons who were adopted and experienced trauma in their young life, and it affected their brain development. Quarantine, the COVID thing really affected them, And it was just chaos from waking up in the morning until they went to bed.
I have 1 son, and I live alone, and so he got transferred during the pandemic. So I was alone for 1.5 years with the pandemic, and it was wow. Difficult times sometimes.
When COVID happened, I didn't really realize how depressed I had become because I couldn't go anywhere, and I was used to long drives to Girl Scout events with my daughter in the car, or just going out with my husband for a movie or dinner or whatever. And it was just kind of the day-to-day, just being at home kind of got to me.
It really kind of threw everybody into a loop because we were so uncertain about whether we were actually going to get concerts back, if any of this was ever going to happen. And when they put out B, it was like just a breath of fresh air in this world of us not knowing what was going to happen.
She played Blue and Gray for me when B came out, and I had no idea what the song was about. She played it in the car, and I was so moved by the depth of emotion I heard in the performance that I said, okay, I have to look this up. My daughter,
That's the
I
other
love
thing too, is you listen to BTS testimonies, and they're very similar. You know, they're talking about loss, they're talking about depression, they're talking about physical injury, and everything they had to overcome, still overcome, right, to become who they are today, is a hell of a story. You know what I'm saying? A hell of a triumph. So it's inspirational all the way around. It'd be one thing if they just came out like, oh guys, look how sexy we are and all this, and woo, we could sing and we could dance. No, they came out with pain. You know, they might have had to find themselves over the years, because I don't know their earliest stuff. I've just seen like a video here and there. I saw like the gangster rap that they used to do, like when they first dropped, you know, when they were kids. But the BTS that I'm mostly familiar with is pain, suffering, and love. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that resonates with so many people.
Her to death. She has struggled with depression and anxiety for a really, really long time. But again, with COVID, she became really withdrawn because school was all online. She didn't want to deal with people. And that included us, her family. So she would hide in her room a lot, and it was really hard anytime I tried to engage in a conversation with her. Of course, she was also a little bit younger then, and you know, she was at that stage where everything I say is nonsense. But when we started talking about BTS, then it gave us a common ground, and we could open up conversations about other things. So the topics that BTS would sing about, we would talk about. So Blue and Gray, for example, talking about anxiety and depression, we were able to talk about her anxiety and depression as we started listening to the lyrics and breaking down the lyrics of their song.
Mental health has always been like a really big issue. And to know that they actually care and they speak to that in their...
I think it's the same thing with BTS.
They have songs that address
63
issues, mental health issues that are present at any time of life. It's not just for adolescents or young people in their 20s. It's stuff that resonates with people my age and older.
We've struggled, we've had pain, we've had a hard time getting through this. This makes people feel they're not alone, that, hey, I think I'm only having these feelings. That's not true. And then you see these, they're talented and attractive and wealthy, and you're like, oh, they can go through this and are having a hard time, and you know, it happens to everybody.
Wow, so that's part one.
Life is different with BTS because, well, as I said, it's a neutral place for my daughter and I to kind of go, and it brings us together and brings us joy. It's a place where we can have joy together. Before, those moments were few and far between. Now we have joy together a lot. It's just a nice, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a nice way for us to put aside all the day-to-day strife and the difficulties of being a mom and a daughter and enjoy something together.
Because of the PCOS, because of the hypothyroid, because of stuff that's just going on in my body, I just was bedridden a lot. A lot of, you know, days I was down, I would escape into BTS.
BTS was like the light that came into my life. Every day I had something to look forward to. They had years and years of material, and they just made me laugh. I belly laughed for the first time in years.
I grew up with them, is what I always say.
Wow.
I'm doing a lot better now, actually. I've grown definitely a lot since high school. That was like 6 years ago. But my mental health is a lot better than it used to be.
It's so much about, I guess, progression and seeing how they were at one point and then now seeing where they're at now and understanding that not like you can have the same trajectory, but you can have like progression and progress and things, understanding that like change will happen is like very okay to know. And it's very okay to like not only experience that, but to be open about it.
Their song Pied Piper.
Pied Piper, come on.
They pretty much tell you that you love us, but you need to get yourself together. And when I first heard that song, I had taken a break from my program for mental reasons. I didn't want to lose the progress I had, and I didn't know how to find that again, and then that song. And then they woke me up. And shortly after they woke up, I opened up my laptop to look at my classes. And now I literally, right before I came here on Friday, I just finished my clinicals on Thursday. So, hi. I was like, I'm gonna make you proud of me.
I'll always have something to escape to. I'll always have something to kind of remind me to push myself. And as far as just social activism as well, and just being kind and loving people, and I didn't really have much kindness before. And I think BTS has really helped me have compassion for other people and just understand that other people are going through things too, and you kind of just want to be a light to their world in any kind of way.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there because unfortunately my camera is about to die. That's part one. That's not even all of it. Link down below. Definitely check this out for yourself. This was inspiring. This was so inspiring. There's definitely some times I got teary-eyed, dropped some tears, but you know what stands out to me the most, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but when I was going to church, like when I first started going to church, I heard this term a lot called anointed. When somebody would preach, when somebody would sing, and people in the audience would just lose it or just feel it or just, it's almost like transcending, right? You heard this term, that person is anointed. That singer, that preacher, that talent, whoever they are, you could tell they are anointed by God. And I almost see, like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I almost see though connections of anointing when talking about BTS, meaning the power that they have to transcend their talent to connect with people they've never even met across the world. And you have testimonies like this. I don't even know, and I might piss some army off right now, but I don't even know if BTS truly knows just how many people they've helped. Like, how could you at the end of the day? How could any one person really know that? And that's not a disrespectful comment. To me, that's just paying compliments to how big they cast the net. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense, y'all? And I feel like for me, my journey is still this right here. Because let's be real, I almost walked away from this channel. You know, I got a lot of stuff that I'm going through on my side, right? But you know who kept me here? You. The love that I took for granted. The love that I somehow underestimated. But I'm here because of y'all. The live stream that I did the other day put in stone for me that how could I leave? I don't know what this channel is going to become, but I know because of you guys, it's going to become something. So anyway, before I cry anymore, thank you guys for the beautiful thing. Thank you for the recommendation. This documentary, You Never Walk Alone, is beautiful. Link down below. Maybe we can watch part 2 coming up. Either way, I will see you very soon. If not tomorrow, definitely the next day. As always, I love you, purple y'all. See you very soon. I don't know what it is, but I know it's about to get better. Love y'all, fellow. Peace.